A British tourist was backpacking through the mountains of Romania when he stopped at a tiny roadside cafe to ask for directions. He unfolded an old hiking map and pointed to a village hidden deep inside the forest. The moment the locals saw the map, the room went completely silent. An elderly man slowly stood up, walked over to him, and whispered, "If you hear the church bell, don't stop running." The tourist chuckled. He assumed it was just another local legend meant to frighten outsiders. The next morning, he packed his camera and followed the trail into the mountains. After nearly 3 hours of hiking, he found the village. It looked as though everyone had simply vanished. Doors hung open, windows were shattered. A rusted bicycle lay in the middle of the road. Children's toys were scattered across the ground. Yet there wasn't a single person in sight. The silence felt wrong. Not a bird, not the sound of insects, nothing. Drawn by curiosity, he slowly walked toward the old stone church at the center of the village. As he lifted his camera, a church bell echoed across the empty streets. He froze. There shouldn't have been anyone there. The village had supposedly been abandoned for decades. Then, the church door creaked open, slowly, not because of the wind, as though someone had pulled it open from the inside. Standing in the darkness was a tall figure, completely motionless. Watching him, he couldn't make out a face, only a black silhouette. Every instinct told him to run. Instead, he raised his camera and took one quick photograph. Click! The figure took one slow step forward. That was enough. He turned and sprinted. His backpack slammed against his shoulders as he ran through the deserted streets. Behind him, the church bell rang again. Boom. Then came footsteps. Slow, heavy, crunch, crunch, crunch. He never looked back, but the footsteps kept getting closer. No matter how fast he ran, after what felt like forever, he burst out of the forest and reached the main road. The footsteps stopped. The bell fell silent. When he finally turned around, the trail behind him was empty. No figure, no movement, nothing. Weeks later, after returning home, he finally gathered the courage to look through the photos from that day. Most were exactly as he remembered. The empty houses, the abandoned streets, the old church. Then he opened the final photograph. His heart nearly stopped. The figure wasn't standing inside the church anymore. It was directly behind the place where he'd been standing, close enough to touch him. Shaking, he checked the timestamp. The photo had been taken 27 seconds after he started running. He clearly remembered dropping his camera the moment he fled. So if he wasn't holding it, who took the picture? To this day, he refuses to speak about what happened in that village. But there are countless other terrifying stories from around the world. Stories that sound impossible until you hear the people who survived them. If you love true horror stories that will keep you awake at night, hit subscribe now, because the next story might make you think twice before traveling alone. And tell me in the comments, would you have entered that village after hearing the warning?